Tonight, we are now getting our first glimpse of Kilmar Abrego Garcia after he was wrongfully deported to a prison in El Salvador. Senator Chris Van Hollen posted this photo tonight confirming his meeting with Garcia. Photos of the meeting were first posted by the Salvadoran president, who said now that he's been confirmed healthy, he gets the honor of staying in El Salvador's custody. MSNBC senior political analyst Matthew Dowd joins me now to discuss this and so much more. He's a former George W. Bush strategist and founder of Country Over Party. Matthew, everybody is watching this controversy play out. Even those who aren't necessarily focused on immigration, they're focused on it because they think about the United States and how they depend on us as a country to be one that follows its rule of law. They're also looking at the chaos from Trump's tariffs and what that's doing to the global economy. What does all of this do to our standing in the world as the leader of democratic ideals?
Well, great question. And I mean, this is such a scary situation because the way it was done, as you know, it was basically no due process was allowed. There was no transparency. Somebody was just picked up and as was discovered wrongly, taken to a foreign country and put in a foreign country jail. And it sounds like from all the reporting that we're paying the folks in El Salvador to hold this person until I guess somebody at the Trump level says, let him go. And that means that anyone watching, this is not just, oh, an immigrant was picked up and, oh, this bad person was picked up. It means anyone could be picked up and without due process, it would take weeks or months or years in order to get a legal citizen of the United States. You or me, this could happen to. And I think this it's such a representation of the deterioration of the rule of law and our justice system in America. I mean, what's I think incredibly disturbing for many of us, and I think should be to your viewers, is we're the wealthiest country on earth. And if we're not the oldest democracy in the world, we're the longest continual democracy in the world. We rank not in the top 10, not in the top 20 in democracies, not in the top 10, not in the top 20 in freedoms, not in the top 10 in rule of law, not in the top 10 of justice. And for all the other countries in the world that look to us that said they may make mistakes, they may not do everything right, but at least we believe in the ideals that they espouse from the Constitution that was done more than 200 years ago. And I think that is what's going to, as your previous conversation about the global economy, is it's not only affecting our ability to be in the global economy with other countries who are now going to seek out other partners, not us, as we do all these things. They're now no longer going to look at the United States as a leader in the movement of democracy that's happened since World War II, that now we're on a declining number of democracies in the world, including what's happened in the United States, where we are now called a flawed democracy. This is the first time since they've been doing these, we're now called a flawed democracy, not even ranked in the top democracies in the world. And it goes, I mean, I think if you talk to most Americans who see the news and hear this and are so offended by it, it begins to diminish our own pride in our own country, which is not necessarily always a bad thing, because I think we could be more humble in this. But the pride that we should have should be for these ideals that we've sort of long standing, which most other countries in the world look at us, thus shake their head. And basically, they're watching us disappear people. That's what this was. It's a disappearance of something. This is what we called in other dictatorial countries when populations of people were disappeared and you never heard from again. That's just what happened, and that's just what we did.
Well, Matthew, in 2024, you regularly looked at the election and you said, our democracy is at risk. Our democracy is on the line. And people kept saying that doesn't connect with the American people. That's abstract. Our institutions are going to hold. We have three separate but equal branches of government. And now here we are. The appeals court today called the Trump administration's defiance in this deportation case shocking. So what do you think is brewing when you think about this showdown about to go down between the executive and the judicial branches? When you warned us of this in 2024 and people said, oh, it won't happen.
Well, I mean, I think like most Americans, you're obviously disturbed by it. I wasn't hoping to be right in all of this. None of us were hoping to be right. But until it hits home to average Americans, it will be like, oh, yeah, I read about that in the history books, but it's not affecting my life. And as these decisions are made, whether it's on tariffs, whether it's on cutting healthcare budgets, and whether it's on watching people in their community taken away with no due process, people are now beginning to understand what that means. And I hate the fact that it takes actually horrible things to happen, but sometimes in our history, as we know, that we can give warning after warning after warning, and until it actually hits home in somebody's town or community, they don't pay attention. And I think that's what's beginning to happen. And people have grief over what criminals have done or something's done, but nobody should be for, and no emotion should rule over due process of law. And as I said, I would just like to remind folks, they think, oh, this is just happening to the criminals. No, it's not, because nothing's been proven about what's happened in this. And the only thing that's been proven is that he was deported wrongly in the course of this, which means somebody could walk into your local church or temple, take someone out, put them on a plane, and they could just be somebody born here, raised here, working here, and take them to El Salvador, and you won't see them again until you object to it. That's what actually can happen.
Matthew, you are responsible for giving us nightmares on this Thursday evening. Thank you for that. Always good to see you, my friend. I really, really appreciate you breaking it down.